So a happy Monday morning to you. I know you love seeing and hearing me first thing of the week. I'm sure it just starts everything out wonderfully. The sun is out. I don't think there's any snow in the forecast. So it could be a good week here. This week we're going to continue on with Christianity. If we were in school, we would have watched a video on Christianity to learn about it. And then we would have been doing this Christianity Search and Find. The Christianity Search and Find would have been your summative assessment, okay? Now, we're not giving summative assessments, but this is higher grade total, okay? There's more points to this, so hopefully you're starting to notice that the higher the points, the more expectations that I have of you. I am giving you all week to finish this. Now, I'll talk about how I would break it up if I were you. But I am giving you all week before, I'll say this is now getting a little late. Some of you, actually, most of you are doing a really, really nice job on your work. We had a bigger assignment last week with the entertainment, the article review. Some of you did a fabulous job and your score reflected that. Some of you are not doing a fabulous job. Some of you are doing very little work and you are getting very little points. That's how it's going to go. I have expectations. I still expect those to be met, and your score will reflect that. Now, you can always redo it. And as I said, if you redo something, please put "this assignment has been redone" so I know to go back into it, okay? Now, I gave you a draft, all right, to kind of look into what we were going to be doing on Monday. Now, if it were me, again, if I'm the student, and I know Miss Tally gave me that, and it's the only thing I had to do on Friday, I would have at least hopefully opened it, looked at what I was going to be asked, maybe went to some of those sites, maybe typed the little things up. I probably wouldn't have done the whole thing. Some of you did, which is great because it's going to help you out. But that's what I would have done. And now I know that Miss Tally is giving me till Friday to get this done. Tuesday technically is a no school day. So you don't have to do any work on Tuesday. But if you don't have any other work, you can obviously still work on this. And then I would have my work in by Wednesday so that I could send it to Miss Natalie. Miss Tally could look over it. Miss Tally could tell me either I did a fabulous job and I'm done, or there's a few things that she suggests that I change, which I would do, and then return it, and then I wouldn't get too behind because Thursday and Friday, I will be giving more work. So even though you have the whole week, you are going to get more assignments on Thursday and Friday. So make sure you create some kind of scheduled deadline of getting this in. Okay? Now, as I said, hopefully you're watching this video. Hopefully you don't tune me out. Hopefully you're not fast forwarding to see how long this is. I'm going to tell you it's probably going to be a long one. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep going just like I do in class. If I make a mistake, I'll, have to go back and track. You know how I am. So just bear with me. It will be worth it, though, because I told you I will be giving you some hints as to being really successful on this assignment. So the first thing about Christianity is day one movie would have been on Jesus of Nazareth, later known as Jesus Christ, one of the most important figures in the Christian belief system, okay? So I gave you a video. It's not the video that I show in class because I don't have that video, nor could I upload that video due to plagiarism, stuff like that. And it was a, childish video, like I said, but it did a good job giving me overall belief system of Christianity. And then the other one the fast talking guy went into the history. So both of those worked together, but they're not really what I would have shown you. Now, Jesus is a very important figure, not only just to the belief system, but he is a figure that really is the difference between the other monotheistic religion that we learned about, which was Judaism. You see, the same books in the Torah are the same books that start off the Old Testament. And if you, again, watch those videos, Jesus himself was a Jew. Christianity wasn't invented yet. Hint, hint. And so the major difference, and this is just in the most basic of ways, is that in Judaism, they do not believe that Jesus was the Messiah, the Son of God. They're still waiting for that person to come. In Christianity, they do believe that Jesus was who he said he was, that he was the Son of God, he came to save them. So that is their belief, and that's where that split takes place. Jesus grew up in the Roman Empire. The Roman Empire at the time was polytheistic. That was the established religion. They believed in all those gods that you did the research on. Jupiter and Mars and I forget the rest because I know their Greek names, but that's who they wanted people to believe in. And they didn't believe, they were tolerant of, other religions as long as you, A, worship the emperor, and B, worship their gods. Well, what Jesus of Nazareth was preaching was that there was only one God and you should not worship anyone else. So he got himself in a lot of trouble with the government because he was basically a traitor. He was going against the rules of the government. And so, as you know, he was killed for that. And that's where Christianity could have stopped. I mean, if you think about it, this guy who was going around saying that he was this, this Messiah, this Son of God, he dies. So why does the religion continue? Well, if you continue into the story, it's believed that Jesus died, but then he rose from the dead. And that was another sign that this man was who he said he was. And so the people who were following him while he was alive continued to now preach and teach what he was teaching with this fact that, listen, this is the next thing that happened. Now, they were also considered traitors. So a lot of Christians were persecuted. A lot of Christians were killed because, again, they are going against the Roman government. The Roman government says you can worship a different God, but you must worship our gods and the emperor. And then the other reason of why this became a very large belief system, even in the Roman times, is because what it was preaching. The teachings were saying that everyone was equal in the eyes of this God, and that when you died, you would go to the kingdom of heaven, and there would be riches for you. And so when you're talking about people like women and slaves who are listening to this, who have no rights, are treated harshly in the Roman Empire, this idea of a place and a belief system, which the established religion of the Romans didn't give, a lot of people were converting and starting to believe and spread this belief system. Okay, so let's go into your slideshow. As I said before, I don't know how to turn this thing around while it's recording, so I'm going to have to do this like this. Okay? I hope that's not backwards for you guys, but whoops, if it is. So you'll see that you have a slide number 1. You are going to put a title, which all you need to do is click in the box and it will work. You could put Christianity Search and Find. You could put Christianity Beliefs. You can put what you want, as long as it's, dealing with Christianity. Your name goes here. Oh, all I gotta do is click in that box and I can put my name. And then if I look down here, it says create a cover page, title, right, name, right, and inserting images. So I'd like you to put some kind of pictures on here. This is a very basic, just white background. You can change themes if you're comfortable with that and the colors, okay? So, you give me a little excitement when I see things that have, some detail to them. All right, so then you'll see that there are going to be 2 boxes per slide, okay? What are the followers of Jesus, what are the followers of Christianity called? and why. All right? Now, I'm going to tell you. Don't put disciple and don't put apostle. All right? That is not the correct answer. So if you're watching this video, that's not the correct answer. Think about it. What are those people who follow Christianity called, and why? Okay? Now, for this one, which says, what date was Christianity organized? There are two, put you back up here. There are two dates, as I said on the draft, that I will accept, okay? And I will tell you it's not going to be in the first century. That's not a date. Now, I don't need like an April 13th, da-da-da-da. You're not going to get that. But there should be a year that you put in there. And there are two that I will accept. So if you're researching, think about what would have made this religion start? What makes sense? You will also see that I'm asking for an image. So if you don't know how to insert images, let's go through that right now. First way you could do, up here, there's a word, insert. I click on it. I can insert an image. And I can search the web. Now, over here, let's say I search for sky. Okay, not really anything that's going to pertain to this, but I search for the sky. Oh, look at all those beautiful sky images. I really like this one, so I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to hit, oh man, guys, I'm sorry, select. Right? And then I insert. Oh, and there is my beautiful picture. Now, I might want my picture on the other side, but wait a second. Oh yeah, it does move. Okay, whatever. Remember, what I want you to do when you put a picture in is click on it. I don't know where that is. Well, it looks like it's working as is. Normally there are those three like boxes that you can choose, and I always tell you choose the second one in, but actually this one looks like it's working. So maybe because it's a slideshow. I don't know. But anyway, that is how you insert an image. So for all of your boxes, you want to type, and again, these you can just go ahead, click in there, and start typing. There we go. That's how I do it. Oh, whoops. I'm going to have to fix that. But that's how you do it, okay? So, there are going to be 2 boxes per slide. There are 10 boxes total. And you are going to be giving me an answer and a further explanation as to why. All right? Again, if you don't explain it to me, more than likely you won't get full points. And I will tell you, I need a little bit more about this belief or practice in Christianity. Okay, so box 1, what are the followers of Christianity called and why? Box 2, the date that Christianity was organized. We've talked about that. Box 3 is the list of the main groups of Christianity. Now, here's the thing. Jesus lived in the 1st century BC. You know, it's believed he was 33 years old when he died. So technically you would say he died around 33 AD. And if you watch that BC to AD video, which maybe I should put up there again, maybe I will, you'll understand what that means. Anyway, Christianity continues to grow, obviously. It continues to have followers. And kind of 300 years down the line from this man's death, you start to get the stories of him or the beliefs of who he was being argued. Okay, some people thought he was just a man. Other people thought he was pure, like God, a divine person. And so there was an emperor named Constantine. And if you remember him from that Fast Talking Guys video, Constantine was the emperor who not only allowed Christians to believe, allowed it to be legal, but also then converted to Christianity himself. So he got people together and said, listen, we need to decide who Jesus was. They had this big conference, and it came out that we're going to believe that it's kind of a little of both. He was a man. He is the Son of God, but he was born a man, and then he had some, divineness to him, and then when he died and he rose from the grave, that was his divinity, and now he's a god. Well, part of the god. I like the way that kid said it, like an egg. That was a good imagery there. So anyway, also towards the end of the Roman Empire, which we're going to talk about later in the week, the Western Roman part started to break down, and the Eastern Roman part was still very strong. And we get our first split in Christianity, which is the first two branches of Christianity, over the fight of who should be the head of the church, okay? The West thought that one person should be. The East thought that someone else should be. I'll talk about this later in the week. But you get your first split. And then in the Middle Ages, you get another split. So for this one that says list the main groups of Christianity, I'm going to tell you, go ahead and just list. I'll give that to you. I'm looking for 3 though, okay? Now, there are a lot more that you might find, but there are 3 main branches of Christianity that came during the history of this belief system that I want you to list. Now, you might say, how do I find a picture for that? Well, you can find a picture by just typing in the branches, go to images. That's right. You could do a Google search as well. I'll show you how to do that. And usually you can find a pie chart or some kind of chart, grid, graph for that. All right. What is their house of worship called? Again, you might just think, I'm going to put one word in there. I don't want that. Yes, it's a one word, but then tell me a little bit more. These houses of worship are set up a certain way. You could describe that. But again, more than one word there, please. What is the current number of followers worldwide? That's pretty easy. Again, I'll be looking for a number. You might want to set it up. The current number of followers of Christianity in the world is... Day of the week. This is going to be a tricky one, so let's spend some time on this. Day of the week, that is the Sabbath in Christianity. So think about that. You may practice Christianity, or you may know someone who does. And if you were to drive down the road before we have been quarantined, think about what day of the week those places that people who follow Christianity worship, the parking lots are full. Now, the other thing is, why is it this day? What's the idea behind this day being the day of rest and worship, which is what Sabbath means, okay? And then you're going to go into finding holy days, okay? Holidays. So I'm asking for 3 holidays or holy days that are important to the belief system of Christianity. I want you to stick to the religion celebration. Because here's the other thing about Christianity. People might not believe in Christianity, but people do still celebrate some of these holidays just without the religion. So there's going to be 2 holidays I'm thinking of. One, I don't want a picture of a fat man in a red suit with a white beard. That has nothing to do with that Christian holiday. Why do the people who follow Christianity have that holiday? And 2, I don't want another one that was just celebrated with rabbits and colorful eggs, because that has nothing to do with that holiday either, okay? So we're not doing what is called the secular images of these holidays, but we are looking into the religious aspects of these holidays. Got it? Again, I told you, if you watch this video, giving you a lot of hints on how to be successful. So if your friends are calling you and saying they have no idea, tell them, did you watch the video? It's long. Right now it's 20 minutes. 20 minutes with me. You haven't spent that much time with me for over 6 weeks, but it's worth it. The last one is, what is the holy book? Again, there's one word, but give me a little bit more detail there, okay? So that is this. Some of the ones that there are numbers, if you're having trouble finding images, you can just put the number there. That's fine. Other of you might find images that really go well. Again, add some color if you want, add some animation if you want, add some transitions. It'll make my day a lot more entertaining, but you don't have to do that, okay? Last thing I do want to do, because you can do a Google search for pictures, all right? So again, all you would do, let's put in that sky, okay? So I put in sky, and I go here next to where it says all to images. Now let's say I want this one. I'm going to do that. And then I come over here. Now, I'm using a Mac. I don't have a mouse. You can right click, or you just do Control Shift. No. What? Nope. Sorry, guys. Should have practiced this one. Where's my thing? Oh, maybe it's not letting me do it. Nope. Sorry, guys. Just another time in the classroom. Hold on, let me do this. There we go. I had to hit Control and that's right. I had to hit Control and my little thing down here. And then, there you go. I can copy the image. And then I just go back to my Christianity Search and Find. And I do the same thing. I hit my Control and my pad and I paste. And there's the image in there again. I don't know why that took me so long to remember. Sorry, I apologize. A lot of times you can just right click if you have a mouse, and that will do the same thing. So if your image search is not giving you pictures you want, go ahead and do a Google search, that's fine. Again, they have to be images that relate to your answer. Okay, so this is a long video. If you have any questions, again, just put something in your private comments, and I'll go by and look. I'll have to say, I'm not, my email, my Gmail, it's just being bombarded with you submitting things, and so that might get lost. So the best place to get an answer from me is in those private comments. I think that's it. I'll rewatch this. I'll rewatch it for the whole 25 minutes. And if there's anything that I said wrong or I want to add, I'll put that in your directions. But again, please take your time on this. Answer with, they don't have to be novels, some of you. They don't have to be novels, but they do have to be detailed with facts and explanations, okay? There's more to just this than one answers, which some of you feel is enough, and it's not. So again, we will see you, I don't know when I'll see you next, probably Thursday, again, to Thursday or Friday, to explain the fall of Rome, because Rome does fall. All right?